What should we do now? I'm talking to you as my children. If I were asked to make suggestions, I would say quietly to our government, move fast. Move diplomatically. Move wisely. Find a way to convince the President of America to please delay his actions for about 100 days. And then come home and tell our security chiefs, get rid of these terrorists within 90 days or resign. Now that, I'm sure, will sound familiar to those of you who have been following the situation in Nigeria. There was a president, unfortunately, he's dead now, as Buhari, who issued such an order. Some of you will remember. Who called the service chief together and said, I give you 3 months. Get rid of all these Boko Haram people or resign. He's not around to tell you who gave him that advice. He ran with that advice, but he didn't follow it through. Because he gave the order as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. But the security operatives moved fast. The 3 months went, and the work was not done. So I went to see him. It was in the news, so this time somehow the press got to know that I visited him. Of course, they were not there when we talked. And unfortunately, like I said, he's not alive now. Or else I would have asked you to go and ask him. Sir, why didn't you follow through? Because when 3 months passed and the work wasn't done, why didn't you proceed with your, are we going to call it threat? I won't tell you the details, but one thing came out of that meeting which would lead me to my next advice to our government. In case there's any of you who can get across to them. That when giving orders to the service chief this time round, we should make it clear to them that they are not only to eliminate the terrorists, They should eliminate their sponsors. No matter how influential they may be. When I say my people, when I say our leaders should move fast, move diplomatically, they have to be and move wisely. They must take note of the fact that if America should attack us, China is not coming to defend us. Russia will not come to defend us. All the so-called world leaders, they will talk. They will condemn what America had done in strongest terms.
Pastor Adeboye has called for clarity of focus and decisive action from government, emphasizing that the threat is real and requires urgency. He urged President Tinubu to give the service chiefs a 90-day or 3-month ultimatum to deal with terrorism and their sponsors. He highlights the diplomatic dimension. He advises engaging with the external actor, the U.S., to secure a 100-day grace period to act internally before any foreign intervention. The message stresses that the challenge is not only operational, fight terrorists, but also structural, removing sponsors, tackling root causes, not just symptoms. The framing is sober. He warns that in the event of external military intervention, Nigeria should not count on other great powers coming to its rescue. That helps underscore Nigerian sovereignty and responsibility. Areas of caution, complexity. While the advice is strong, the feasibility of achieving meaningful results in 90 days is questionable given the deep, long-standing insurgency, fragmentation of armed groups, and structural issues in Nigeria's security apparatus. The demand to eliminate sponsors is morally and politically weighty. Identifying and prosecuting influential backers, often with deep links, is difficult. Missteps could lead to political instability or backlash. Publicly setting a strict deadline raises expectations. Failure to meet it may erode confidence in government or church leaders alike. The interplay between spiritual leadership and political advice can blur lines. It must be handled with sensitivity. Diplomatic engagement with the Uizeng, especially amid the threat of military action from Donald Trump over alleged Christian persecution in Nigeria, per recent reporting, is a nuanced undertaking. Nigeria must navigate its sovereignty, its security needs, and its international relationships carefully. My take on the overall significance. Pastor Adeboye's intervention is significant because it reflects how prominent faith leaders are engaging with national security issues, not just spiritual ones. It signals a moment where domestic pressure from religious communities and international pressure, threats of intervention, converge. It offers a framework for President Tinubu. Act swiftly, use diplomacy, and show measurable progress, and not merely statements. It underscores that ignoring either the external, diplomacy, or internal reform dimension can lead to lost credibility or worse. Recommendation for next steps. President Tinubu and his team should publicly map out a credible plan. What will be done in 90 days? What resources will be deployed? What transparency measures will apply? This helps the deadline be meaningful rather than symbolic. The government should engage with civil society, including religious groups, to build ownership of the security, plan and help monitor implementation of steps,